So let's suppose I'm thinking about a particular coffee cup that I might own that has a picture on it of a giraffe. In connectionist terms, the way we think about what's happening there is to imagine that as I think about the giraffe, or the coffee cup with the giraffe, it produces patterns of activity in different parts of my brain. Now, some of those might be strictly visual parts of my brain that represent exactly what the cup looks like and how the handle is shaped relative to the bowl and how it's connected to the bowl. Other parts of that pattern might represent the thought that I'm having that I wish that cup was full of coffee because I could use another hit of caffeine right now. Another part of my brain might have a pattern of activation that represents the thought I have about this giraffe and the idea that that's a strange thing to be on a coffee cup. So the notion, very simply, is that active representation is thought of in terms of patterns of activity where some neurons are active and others are not. And as I think, I imagine that the patterns of activity evolve and change at each step of my thought processes. Given the idea that my active representations are patterns of activity, the question of, well, how do I get from one thought to the next comes up. And that's what the connections do. They carry me from one pattern to the next one. So the fundamental idea here is just that what takes us from one pattern of activation to the next one is the pattern of connections among the units. And we can see that in the model we already talked about, in that when the letter level activations begin to form, they in turn begin to produce the activations at the word level. So there's a sequence of thoughts there that's represented by the sequence of activations in the model.